That being said, I'm getting word from up front that Red Goal is ready with his Dark Souls any %. Take it away, man.
Yo, what up, TJ?
Hello, this is Dark Souls. I'm Regal.
You like speedruns, TJ?
And I think we had a name incentive for this.
Last I checked, it was Spra still.
Yeah.
Indeed. So the name that got met with 2,000.
I was watching a little bit of this one and it went crazy.
SBRAAH exclamation point.
I don't know what that means, but that's cool. Cool. All right, just before we start, I want to mention that we're going to be starting Thief with Black Fire Bombs. Thief, because you get a free master key, and we're going to need the master key to open certain doors.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to be streaming like all day, bro.
Black Fire Bombs is going to help us to kill a few enemies a lot.
I'll probably be running till 4 a.m. or something like that. Maybe earlier than that, but
get ready with
I don't plan on stopping.
Countdown.
Just thought I'd start it off with some YouTube.
1, go.
Good luck, man. So everyone, welcome to Dark Souls. This is a 3D combat-oriented action game. I'm sure many of you.
You know how much weight I've lost in the first week of doing this diet, dude?
Traveling the world and gathering up the Lord's souls in order
9
to extend the Age of
pounds.
Fire. But since this is any %, we'll be doing very
A lot of
little
that had to
like
have
all
been
Dark
like
Souls runs, you start here in the Undead Asylum.
A lot of
with the
water
goal
weight
of
just
escaping
getting out of
past
my
the Asylum
system,
demon.
like my bloat.
Right off the bat, while climbing this ladder,
bro.
Regal's going to go ahead and take off all
9
armor,
pounds week
in order
one.
to maintain fast rolling throughout the entire run. That's going to be very important. Coming up into the next room, and we're about to come face to face with the Asylum Demon. To beat this guy, most players will take a lap and then initiate the fight with a plunging attack. However, if you look in the bottom left, you can see those 10 black fire bombs. Turns out you can take out this guy with a total of 5. So it begins 1, 2, 3 while rolling towards the door and using the impact. That's a slow attack.
Yeah, that's not a one you want to see, but we dodged it.
There we go.
That's crazy.
That's one boss down. So it turns out they even take
yeah,
out
if
the
you hit
Asylum
that
Demon
command
early, we still have to do
exclamation
some cleanup
BMI,
here in
it'll
the
give you your
Asylum.
BMI,
First,
bro.
by grabbing the first
Yeah, you got it.
weapon of
45.
the run, the bandit's knife. Here it is. It doesn't deal a lot of damage, but it deals enough.
Yeah, we're going to be using it for Tourist Demon. And
I got a
another
list of
enemy after
commands.
that.
I need to
That's
put
pretty
that
much
in
it.
one of my
We're also
panels.
going to free an NPC named Oscar, and rather than baiting the rolling metal ball, we're going to do something different. Turns out, if you exit and reload the game, your character standing up will break any breakable object like the wall that you happen to be next to.
Yeah,
And it's loud.
Quit outs are very powerful in Dark Souls. They can even break walls.
Yeah, so Oscar here gives you the Estus Flask. That's the primary form of healing, along with some additional
Oh, you're good,
keys.
bro. I started
Even though,
my
like
stream
Regal's
at like
said, the Thief
midnight.
class starts with the master
We were
key.
playing
Turns
some
out the
Ready or
master
Not
key
with my
is kind of
buddy.
deceptive. It
That
doesn't
game's fun
actually
as
open
fuck,
every
dude.
door in the game, just
I got some
a lot
good
of
clips out of that stream. That game is fun as fuck.
Yeah.
I played it
So
like
opening
2
this door,
years
it's
ago,
a
but
very
it's
heavy
been
door.
it's been a while
Yeah.
since I played it.
We're
Dude,
almost
not
out of the
TJ,
asylum.
it's crossplay.
You can skip every cutscene in this
Like,
game.
we could play
thankfully, so you won't
together.
see more than a few frames of the animation, but a big bird comes and grabs you to take you to Lord Rand proper. So hooray, there's the asylum, the easy part of the run.
Dude, yeah. Yo, what up, Knight?
Here in Firelink, I want to draw attention
Yeah,
to
like Ready or
sprinting.
Not's
It should be
crossplay.
pretty
That's I mean,
intuitive
my
that
buddy
sprinting
plays
is
on
faster than running,
Xbox
so
and we're
we
playing
wanna spend
together.
as
You
much
just got to
time as
link your
possible
account
sprinting.
to
one nuance there is
Epic
that from
Games,
a walking state, you can
and
reach
then
sprinting
we
speed
got to be
more
friends on
quickly
Epic Games,
via
so
a
then
few
we can
methods
just
like
boop, boop,
blocking
boop,
or toggling
start
weapons.
playing.
So like right here, if you see these quick toggles or quick blocks, that's usually the reason why.
I would be
Yeah,
down.
it saves
I would
about
be down,
0.4
TJ.
seconds over
That
1
would be
minute
fun
of
as hell.
sprinting, But
It's still time safe.
still saves time.
Yeah, going through these fog gates, you're about to see the introduction to the bridge drake that we'll see later. You can just block and then roll
Dude,
right past it to
the
not lose a
strats these
lot of
guys
speed.
think of are
Or, I mean, get
insane.
staggered, but
We
that's
try to roll through the stagger, but it's pretty precise. And these guys are really annoying.
We're going to make a pit stop down at the Undead Merchant. and
Lucas
it's gonna be hard
Horton,
to see
hello.
because Regal's
Major
menuing is
Gartman,
really fast
hello.
because he's really good at this game. We're going to buy 4 different things. First, the rapier, which is a weapon. Second, the short bow, and then arrows for that bow, and finally the shield. All 4 of those things are going to have very specific functions in the speedrun, which we'll try to call out as they become relevant. But first, we have to make it through. Even though the Undead Burg is early, this area is really scary, like this room, for example.
The scariest part of the run, honestly, in terms of the areas.
This guy in the door becomes invulnerable for a moment. Nice job getting through with no damage.
Yes,
This door
Lucas,
is
I do
also
remember you.
scary.
You were saying you
We're
loved
going to
me
use
last
the master
stream.
key to open it. Nice job. Okay, and we're through. From this chest, we're going to grab 3 gold pine resins. Gold pine resin is a weapon buff that applies the lightning effect to the right-hand weapon, which in this case is the bandit's knife. Also just casually, there we go, hopping over the
that's
barrel
crazy.
faster than waiting for it.
I'm gonna heal real quick, just for
Henny,
safety,
you cheating
'cause
on me
Tor's
with
team can be
Lucas?
pretty
No.
low.
Yeah.
Lucas is
If
rolling
we
out a
didn't say
red
this,
carpet
the Taurus
for me.
demon coming up is weak to lightning, which is why we grab those gold pine resins.
Can you
Well, that
grab
and
the
one more
camera
reason.
for a
The boss
Lamar
doesn't spawn until
Jackson
roughly
edit?
halfway across the bridge, so we're going to run forward, dart to the right to hopefully dodge some
Is that
arrow.
what we're doing? A Lamar Jackson edit? Is that for real? Shit, okay. We might be able to do that. Alright, there's for your Lamar Jackson edit, if that's actually real.
You can see him pass right behind, apply that gold pine resin.
Man, is that
This
trend
boss
still
is
going,
scarier
Lamar
than you
Jackson
might
edits?
think, given how early it comes in the run. There's a lot of shockwaves from the hammer. He can move very erratically, and
This
he
guy
can
melts
kick you
his
as he moves
Taurus
around.
demon.
And that should do it. One more hit, down it goes.
That was okay.
Well done. But we're not done yet. We just used 1 gold pine resin. You're about to see the second usage of it. Coming up is one of the more famous, or maybe infamous, portions of Dark Souls, the Bridge Drake that's about to fly overhead and douse the entire bridge in fire. We can avoid getting cooked to a crisp by getting in this alcove off to the right. And then while the fire is dissipating, pulling out the bow and arrow that we just bought from the merchant in order to bait down the Drake, like so. Next, we're going to very quickly apply a gold pine resin and hopefully dodge this arrow hit. Very close. 1, 2, 3 hits. Get to the Drake sword.
Wow.
Nice. All right, the
Yeah.
scariest part of the run.
They make it look so
Drake
easy,
sword
bro.
is a very powerful early game weapon. We're not going to use it just yet, but you'll see it in the near future.
You gotta hydrate up, y'all.
Also just going to drop some unnecessary items.
Yeah, you want your inventory to be pretty clean for multiple reasons. Mostly for the move swap glitch we're going to be doing
mean,
later.
this
but also
dude's
you
had
can't
to have just
menu while you're
replayed this
sprinting
game, like-
so you want it to be very clean so you can swap things around pretty easily.
What, like
So we're quickly
1,000
approaching one of the
times?
most fascinating tricks in the run, I think anyway, called the Sen's Gate Skip. There's an area called Sen's Fortress, and you're meant to have to ring 2 bells of awakening and go on this whole long journey before this gate will open. But it turns out that via a camera, or a trick involving camera manipulation, we can get through. Step 1 is to exit the game in order to, there we go, reset enemy aggro. Then we're going to turn around and bait one of these hollows who may misbehave.
Yeah,
Hopefully he'll be nice.
Shouldn't be too bad. That's
Yep, there we go.
best RNG.
Now check this out. This is going to look very strange. Regal's going to try to parry this hollow on a very particular spawn on the bridge, and if done correctly, we clip the character out of bounds just enough to activate the death camera, which is this overhead top-down
How
view,
do you
but
find
not
that?
far enough to actually
How
touch
the hell
kill
do you
point. Believe
find
it or not,
something
those are
like
2
this?
different triggers. Now, the reason we did this is that while the camera is in this glitched state, the gate to Sen's Fortress just isn't even going to load, so we can just walk right through.
Hopefully this hollow doesn't catch up so we can sit. All right, nice.
Good. Yep. Going to level up to 11 strength in order to
Data
properly
mining.
wield that Drake sword we got. And I know it's hard to see with the
Bro,
camera,
what's
but we're
data
now running
mining?
along the bridge to Sen's Fortress. Like I said, with the camera in this state, the gate just doesn't load. You won't have to deal with this for much longer, don't worry.
Yeah, we're gonna quit out to reset the camera just as we pass into Sin.
There's the gate.
We're gonna do a jump quit out so we can quit out in the exact spot so the cycles will be good.
And as we load back in, Regal's going to spin the camera quickly. There's the gate still closed.
Wow. Boom, Sen's Fortress. Going
So
through the
Sen's
game
Fortress,
files to
another
find
really
bugs and
fascinating,
glitches. Oh,
zone.
is
It's
that
full of
what
these traps,
speedrunners
and,
do?
As Regal mentioned, the quit out was done in a particular location so that as we sprint through, these cycles on these swinging axes and such are in the correct locations that you don't have to slow down very much.
Yeah, casually this place can be kind of a nightmare, but for speedrunners, it acts the same way every time.
Oh,
so
you
it's pretty
guessing?
chill. It's pretty chill.
Yeah,
place.
I would just
There are
always
also
assume that
boulders.
it's
The
just
first
like
boulder
trial
always
and error
spawns
to
as you
find
get
like
close, and
weird
it's just gonna
things.
absolutely decimate this snake, bro.
Bye-bye.
There he goes.
Like I don't know what speedrunners do on
Although
their
you
free
can't see
time.
it,
I
there's
thought
a
they
mechanism
just.
up at the top of Sen's Fortress, which can change the direction.
Ever
that these
seen
boulders
zip
take,
glitches in
even
Elden
if you're
Ring?
not
Yeah,
there to
that's
operate it.
obnoxious. The zip
So in a moment,
glitches.
we're going to run past and hopefully not get hit by the darts.
Elden
Nicely
Ring
done.
speedruns
And then we're gonna
are
run up the
fucking
stairs
insane.
and quit out. And prepare yourselves, there's a loud sound incoming.
Yeah.
If we didn't quit out here, a boulder would have spawned and probably killed us.
Yeah,
Which is, you know, slow.
there it is.
Very loud.
All right, this is probably a good time for donations, or at least one real quick.
All right, sounds good. We have $5 from Ty Digga that says, "Good luck, Regal," from all of us in Kata's chat.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Now, there's a snake guy on the stairs here.
Bro,
Thankfully, you
just
can
flying
kind of
through
run forward and slap
sins.
him, get him out of the way. Just one more very thin platform, and then we're going to reach the roof. I'm going to go ahead and start explaining the move swap early. It's a very important glitch.
Okay,
Let's
I
see if
did
can
see
set
this
up.
part.
We
This
practiced
part's
this
actually
explanation.
fucking insane
If you
what
look
he
down in the
does.
bottom left, in a moment, Rigo's
Pay
going to
attention,
equip
TJ.
the bow into that left-hand weapon, which is the offhand. Bows are special because they're the only type of weapon that can be
In
two-handed.
chat.
But if you
The whole
instead
chat.
queue
Not
up
just
a
TJ.
two-hand while locked in another animation and then quickly swap weapons, which you'll see in just a moment. Just pause before that happens. There we go. This might not have looked like much. We're now two-handing the Drake Sword, but it's in the left hand. Now, bows, they can shoot arrows, right? But they, by their nature, don't have plunging, rolling, or sprinting attacks.
Bro, this guy's able to spec this fucking dragon tail, like, greatsword or whatever, or the Drake sword, by, like, just doing some weird glitch. And he's just two-handing on the left hand. Like, that's insane.
So as a fallback, the game will pull the moveset, i.e. the attack animations from the right-hand weapon. The takeaway is that we can combine the rapier's very fast attack speed with the high damage output of the two-handed Drake sword.
Yeah, this feels like cheating. Like, you're swinging with this, but you're dealing damage with this. That's actually
You
crazy.
get to use that. Well, that guy just goes away.
That's Bob. Say bye to Bob.
And now you get to see it in real proper use on the Iron Golem. Despite this move swap, this guy is still very tanky and we're under-leveled. Thankfully, we don't need to actually deplete this enormous health pool. If you play your cards right, ideally this guy's going to stomp. We'll see what he does.
Nah.
Not quite. But you can stagger him. Just have to
Honey
make it
Badger, what up,
to be
dude?
rotated correctly. Good. There's the stagger. Now on.
Okay. Sorry.
We should still be fine. On the next hit, you're going to see him topple over backwards for a quick kill. There we go.
Boom. Dead.
That's a good bomb cycle right here.
Well done.
And Orlando.
So as we approach Anor Londo
Man,
here,
going to
one
Anor Londo
aspect
before
of
even
Dark Souls
ringing
speedrunning in
both
general,
bells is
including any percent that
crazy
we haven't
work.
talked about yet, is that for maximum speed, you usually end up skipping all non-essential bonfires.
Dude, look how
which
many
is risky,
fucking souls
but,
this guy
you know,
has.
Obviously, it saves time. Here in the early part of Anor Londo, we are going to run off to the left and grab one of these
We got
bonfires. This one
43K
is not for
souls, bro.
safety. It's because we're going to have to teleport here later once we're on our path to the DLC.
Yeah, we need to level up anyway, so it's a good spot to sit down.
And speaking of that level up, part of
Honey
the
Badger, I'm
souls that
down
we have,
9
that
pounds.
43K is gonna
Shout
go
out your
towards
boy.
Endurance. The rest is going to head towards 27 strength. That's going to be very important to wield the next weapon.
I can't get behind some
Otherwise, in
speedruns,
Anor
man.
Londo, there's
Glitch
kind of
shit
a lot
is
of running
wild.
to do.
Dude,
We're
yeah,
gonna go
we
down
were
an
just talking
elevator,
about how they
past the
discover
rafters,
it.
and hopefully
TJ was
the
thinking that
Beacon
they
Guardians
do
play
like
nice.
Yeah, that'd be pretty scary.
some
Yeah, in the
data
meantime,
mining, like
nothing we have
looking
time
through
for a whole bunch
glitches
of
in the
donations.
files or
Oh,
bugs.
fantastic. Well, let's
But
start
I've
with the
just
big
always
one
thought
with
that they're just, you know,
$4,040 from Lawrence
just
Sontag.
running through trial and error. Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. I feel really good,
They
man.
say
Like
every
it's
year Games Done Quick shows us new
I'm
games,
taking this
incredible
shit
spirit,
seriously
and most
this
of all,
time.
how gaming can bring together and make the world a better place. Because of that, it is my honor to donate the money on behalf of my incredibly generous streaming community. I said I'd match them if they hit $2,000 and $20.
Yeah, I don't think you can
If I'm
actually
being
find
honest,
some of
I
these
didn't think
glitches.
they
Yeah,
would,
that's what I
but
was
here
wondering,
they
like-
are.
Awesome.
Do good, keep
I've
gaming,
always
and
wondered,
let's
like, how the fuck
see
do you
that
find this
music
shit?
video.
That's
But it's
very
just gotta
generous.
be it's
Thank
gotta
you.
be something like that.
No, we can get a few more.
All right, great.
But I mean, there's
Well, we
millions
have
of people
$100
playing this
from
fucking
Ben Bright
game.
that
One of
says,
the guys
GDQ is good,
probably
Dark
stumbled
Souls
across
is
a
good.
miracle and just
Save the
shared it on a
frames,
forum.
save
That's
our
possible
souls.
too.
This guy's spooky.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. He can get a
Nice
vacuum
skip.
backstab. It's real nasty.
Yeah, the Penny Guardians can be pretty annoying, but they were fine right there.
Let's say we have time for two more.
All right, two more you shall have. We have $250 from the Blue Crayon that says, gotta donate for some Dark Souls hype. This event has had some fantastic runs, and I can't wait to see more. Have fun and go fast. We also have $100 from Front Row Praise the Sub that says, preventing cancer, Covert Muffin, and Dark Souls, yes, please.
Thank you very much. We're going to have semi-serious time. You see those Batwing demons up in the top right? These guys and heading towards the infamous
Dude,
Anor
this
Londo
place was so
archers.
crazy. Whenever I
The
first
Batwing
got
demons
here,
by
my
themselves
mind
aren't
was
that bad, but
blown
they
seeing
can throw
Anor
lightning
Londo
straight
for
at
the
you from
first
behind,
time.
And the best way to identify that threat is audio cue. So I'm going to go ahead and quiet down.
And you know, I gotta say, like, seeing its its glory and terror in Dark Souls 1, I will say, seeing Anor Londo in Dark Souls 3 was a slight letdown compared to this. But it's still a very cool level design, and I do like Anor Londo in Dark Souls 3 as well. It just doesn't compete with the OG.
right, there's the first set down. There's 2 more here as well.
They were nice. Still
It's a
need
cool
audio
callback
cues
from
for this guy
nothing
up
beats the
here.
first St. Orlando experience. Exactly. Dude, and that, when I was like on this exact area right here, I was only streaming on YouTube, and one of the chat, I think I had like 24 viewers watching me play Dark Souls 1, like second stream on YouTube. And one of the guys was like, "Hey, like watch out for John Wilkes Booth up there. Like they'll get you." They literally were calling the archers John Wilkes Booth.
All right, good.
One more Silver Knight in the way.
That I was like, that is
yeah.
crazy. Boom.
Say bye to that guy.
This guy's big dicked now.
Don't forget to take the safety bonfire.
Thank you. I'm so used to not taking this thing in runs. So yeah, we want to take this because the upcoming boss is pretty random and they can just kill you very easily. And dying to them loses a whole lot of time. So we're just going to play it
Nice.
safe here for the marathon. Take
That-
this and spend our souls.
That next boss is Ornstein and Smo. We'll cover them in a moment. Rather than heading straight upstairs, though, we're going to take a dip
Okay,
into-
so I just saw this on TikTok, and I want like some help with this because there's lingo when it comes to Souls games that I still don't know completely yet. Gank fight. So, I guess Smo and Ornstein is a gank fight. Like, what classifies as a gank fight, and what bosses in other games are gank fights? Like, I don't know what a gank fight is.
the basement and open a chest to get a weapon called the Dragon's Tooth. So far, we used the Drake Sword for some damage back on the Iron Golem, but this Dragon's Tooth is going to be the, well, really
Oh, dude, and seeing this pissed me off, too. This is where the Dragon's Tooth is.
only damage dealer for the rest of the run.
Yeah. So you saw a move swap with the Drake Sword earlier. This is a much bigger, much fatter weapon.
It's ordinarily wielded by Havel the Rock. It's a heavy weapon is what it is.
Yeah, this will really show you the power of the move swap.
Yeah, the Dragon Tooth ordinarily has very slow attacks, but it's compensated by high damage, and the move swap allows you to sidestep that restriction. There's also a little skip here. The skip is so easy to do that it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of casual players found it. You just hop right over the railing. It's a shortcut to Ornstein and Smo.
I was told about this skip.
We just have to
I
dip
did do
down
that
and then
skip.
get past
It took
one
me like a
more,
couple tries to get it, though.
Giant enemy.
Yeah, well, we're gonna heal, and if you hide behind this pillar, nobody notices you, so that's cool.
If this giant does a sweep attack, we
Dragon
have to
Tooth
dodge it.
for
Otherwise, you
Piers,
can just keep
wild. Hell
sprinting.
yeah.
All right,
Well, there we go.
all right, we're gonna do a move swap.
I guess I've never heard of that. I'd assume if it's any fight you're innately outnumbered in. Oh, so maybe like the Foreskin Twins. That would be a gank fight. Yeah, can we get like a search on this? Gank, MOBA term for getting ambushed by another player. Yeah, or gargoyles. Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, that would make sense. Gargoyle fight. Yeah, the Bell Gargoyles, Ornstein and Smo, Foreskin Twins. Yeah, those are gank fights. Okay, if that's the case, that makes sense.
Again?
But yeah, like I think you're on the right track there.
Yep. So Ornstein and Smo is very, very random, and you also have to fight the camera. We're going to take out Ornstein first because Ornstein tends to be easier to isolate. There's a good opening.
Bro, the way Ornstein dashes like that is so funny. I thought that was so funny when I first saw that. Like, he just kind of floats in the air towards you.
Might dodge out of the way. It's going to take 3 sets of these attacks to kill him. Let's see if Smo behaves.
Come on, Spo, what are you doing?
Okay, almost have them. Juggling 2 enemies is not easy, especially when they're this dangerous.
All right.
There goes Ornstein. We still have to take out Smo. He becomes supercharged. But
Looked
even
it
in
up
the
and I think I
supercharged
nailed it.
state, you can
Okay.
stagger him
Yeah,
with
I
the
think you're right
quick
on
one-two
that.
Attack. We're going to just do this all the way until he dies. It is possible for Smo to gain hyper armor if he decides to dodge. So hopefully he doesn't do that. We'll see. Just one more set.
Ornstein getting hyper.
fight.
I think he
Free
does that
moment
in
that
base
looks way
battle,
easier
right?
than it
He
actually
just
is.
gets
Those guys
hyper
are
armor
very random.
when you're fighting him.
So your reward then for going through Anor
This
Londo
move
and
swap
clearing
shit
out,
feels wrong as
Ornstein and
hell.
Smo
Dude,
is that
yeah.
You get the Lord Vessel, which is going to unlock Bonfire Teleportation. It's given to you by Guinevere.
Like, the
This
fact that he's
NPC
just
who gives
ripping
you the
through
big
these
spiel and,
bosses
praises you
is, like,
for
insane.
something or other.
Dude,
We're
just
gonna shoot
for,
it.
like, we're at 17 minutes, and he's already beat Smo and Ornstein. So he completes the whole run in 47 minutes.
With an arrow. This is actually significantly faster than speaking to her.
Well, he's
Like, probably
at
about
15,
25 seconds
16 minutes right now.
And with that, we're back.
All right.
Yeah, so at this point, we finished basically the first phase of the run, which is clearing Sen's Fortress, Anor Londo, and gathering up the Lord Vessel. Next up, we're going to go ring the 2 bells of awakening.
Imagine getting a game and an hour later you've completed it. Yeah, exactly, dude.
The purpose of SGS, the Sen's Gate
Okay,
skip,
I will say this, and I am not lying whatsoever. When it came to my upbringing, I owned a Sega Genesis. That was the first video game console I've ever owned. I don't know when my parents bought it. I think my stepdad bought it, like, before, like, my mom and my sister moved in with him. But we had a Sega Genesis, and we had the Lion King game and the Toy Story game. Yes, old, ancient technology. The Lion King game is notoriously known for one of the hardest video games out there, just because it just punishes you for no reason whatsoever. And there's no save point because it's a classic arcade style video game. I could beat that game in 28 minutes when I was a kid. There was one point to where, because that's all we had. All we had was a Sega Genesis. I would nonstop play this game over and over and over and over again. And I remembered for the longest time owning the Lion King game, I could never get past the second level, which is the level where, like, what is it? It's like the birds are just kind of throwing you tree to tree, because that's like just a puzzle pattern level of figuring out how to just, and then there's some obstacle hopping too at some point. Once I beat that level, I would go and I would get stun locked at the 3rd level, and then eventually I remember one day I just ripped through the entire game, and it took me a long time. But then I was like, okay, well, I did this, now let's just replay it over and over again. I beat the game, and I would time myself how to beat it, and boom, I was like ripping through the game, and like, just, yeah. Wild statement from TJ. If I was 60, I'd be freaking out right now. Yeah, that's actually like I'm used to the ageist comments from TJ. That is crazy, bro. But no, nobody believes me when I say this, though. I would speed run this the Lion King game on the Sega Genesis.
To avoid having to ring the bells, right? Turns out you do need to ring them both anyway, because we need access to the Firelink altar to...
Same goes for Toy Story as well. Toy Story is not an easy game at all whatsoever.
Place the Lord Vessel and to set up a wrong warp quite a bit later in the run.
Yeah, but also we get to come back and fight these bosses with Dragon Tooth.
Yeah.
Rather than fighting them with a Drake sword. So
Yeah, that's why we do these things out of order.
a good bit of time doing that. as
Right,
well.
I don't think I've seen
The path
anywhere
up to the
beyond
gargoyles
this. This is all
kind of,
fresh, authentic
arduous.
reaction.
Even though these enemies are small, they can be quite threatening. Not so much that little baby archer on the side.
Yeah, we're gonna hope for good RNG in this hollow room coming up here, because it can be pretty scary.
Oh yeah, this
guy
room
can
sucks.
also- he's just not moving.
Yeah, he can be annoying, but he's fun right there.
So if you get clipped from behind, it usually staggers you and can deal a lot of damage.
Okay.
One more in the doorway.
That guy's in the way.
All right, that was good.
Okay. Okay. You know what? That one tried value.
That was good.
Yeah, I got stuck on the dying one's body.
As Regal gets off the ladder, you're going to see
That was
an
real
alternate
good.
version of the move swap. Again, you can see that gigantic two-handed Dragon's Tooth in the left
Dude,
hand.
how is he? Okay,
the gar-
he's swinging a dragon tooth with the speed of a rapier. That's so nuts. Like, this speed run is
Don't
actually
spawn
crazy.
immediately when you go through the fog gate, but I'm just going to let the damage speak for itself as for why we do the events in this game in the order that we do. Look at this damage.
He's gonna melt this guy.
There's one. Now the second gargoyle spawns.
Are you kidding me? Dude, that's actually insane.
At half health, so it's going to queue up a fire breath. Nope.
That's
What? He just one-shotted the... did he spawn in with half health? Is that what happened?
There's one. Now the second gargoyle spawns at half health, so it's going to queue up a fire breath. Nope.
Oh,
Sparkles.
It's kind of nice too. Sometimes
Yeah,
when
he
you
didn't
hit
even
those
stop
gargoyles,
running,
they can
bro.
Drop a weapon. The weapon order in your inventory is important. For
yeah.
the move
The
swap.
more I think about it now, it's just him getting across the church. The bosses are dead, and then you climb up a ladder.
And so if they dropped a halberd, you would have to do some reorganizing. Thankfully, it didn't happen. So, you know, slightly good RNG there.
We're gonna do a glitch here. We already did it once, but didn't explain it. We're gonna
Wonder if he's gonna level
queue
up. He's
using
got
the bone and
63K
then go
souls,
into our
dude.
Inventory and use a flask instead, and that will dupe the bone. It will use the Estus flask, but it will keep the bone around for us. And we're gonna do this again with Smo Soul later as well. This just allows us to keep our souls and to get more souls later. It's a really useful glitch.
So that's one bell out of the way. There's still another one way down in Blighttown. We're going to get to Blighttown via the elevator to New Londo Ruins. Along the way, we're going to kick Lautrec right off a cliff. There's one.
Hopefully.
He can be a little thorny.
Kicking in this game is
Yeah.
one of the hardest
So
things
I
to
found
do.
this out when I played with my brother. If you just kick him off the edge, and then you just restart the game, go to menu, and then reboot it, the item is right next to you, up on the level.
We have to exit and reload the game in order for his loot to
Yeah.
drop.
And honestly, I gotta
And,
get
he drops some
Lil
souls,
Hin
but the
back
only
up
real loot
in
that
here.
matters
We
is
gotta
that ring of
continue our
favor and
playthrough of
protection.
DS1.
It gives you boosts to a number of stats, but the only one that's really impactful for this
Yeah,
run
I fought
is
him
that it
normally.
increases your equipment load.
The
which means
first
you'll be
time
able
I
to
played, I fought
maintain,
him normally.
fast rolling later on, right?
Yeah, we really want to fast roll against the DLC bosses.
He
They
is
can be
a
really
menace,
annoying
bro.
as they are, but even more so when you can't fast roll.
Hard to see, but the Soul of Snow is just duped as well.
Dude, he's
multiple
almost at
times,
100K.
Yeah, you don't have to dupe it the second time, but just for safety, we want to keep it around.
So there's another really interesting trick coming up, which I would recommend paying attention to because it'll happen multiple
Yeah,
times.
and this
this
is a
run.
way
Opening the door is
we
the
win as
trick. You
well
just press the-
to get the blight super quick.
But we're going to head into Blighttown. Quaylag and the second bell of
Let me see this parkour. Yes, this part here. Yeah, I just I just kind of like he's been parkouring the
wanna
whole
keep it
time. So I was like,
there's another really interesting trick coming
Yeah,
up.
that's
which,
actually an
I
insane
would recommend
parkour.
paying attention to because it will happen multiple times this run. Opening the door isn't the trick. You just press the gate. But we're going to head into Blighttown. Quaylag and the second Bell of Awakening are at the bottom of Blighttown, and
yo, we should just give Regal like a follow. Like he streams on Twitch. I gotta follow this guy.
it takes a little while to get down there. So rather than actually traversing all the rickety woodwork, we're going to do a particular trick to negate fall damage. What you're going to see Regal do in a moment is leap off a cliff and then do a downward plunging attack on a slope, and then
He's playing too
buffer a
much
roll.
DS.
What's
Yeah,
gonna
I don't-
happen is when you hit the ground, the rolling
I don't
iframes
think
or
I've ever seen
invincibility
Regal.
frames will
I don't know
actually
too many
negate
Souls-like
that fall damage.
gamers.
There's the plunge.
Ooh, it took damage. That's
There's the roll.
unusual.
Yep, one more of them here. And just like that, we're at the bottom of Blighttown. It's really, really powerful. The unfortunate part about Blighttown is your reward for traversing all the way down here is you just
Slip
get
and
poisoned
slide,
in
baby.
This, water that you have to roll through. Thankfully, if you look at your health in the top left, this damage deals so little damage that it usually
Slip and
doesn't matter.
slide.
Yeah, we're going to heal for safety, though, just in case, because if Quelaag tags us, it's not going to be very good.
Quaylag is going to go down relatively fast because, again, we have that very powerful Dragon's Tooth combined with the move swap glitch. Not as fast as the Gargoyles because Quaylag is significantly tankier. Ideally,
Quaylag
you
is very tanky.
Don't want her to jump in terms of the RNG. That's not what you want. And if she happens to queue up an attack, which she slowly spews out a pool of lava, that can also be very good for dealing damage.
Shout out to Gandre, because I failed my move swap.
All right, go ahead and melt him.
Here we go. Is she
Or
gonna
melt
jump?
her.
Nope.
No. Okay, good. This is the attack you want. This is good RNG.
This is second best RNG. Yeah.
So as you can see, we're still dealing a lot of damage.
That's the attack you want her to do.
And that's the fight,
Boom.
just like that. So
I gotta
the
join
second
in
bell
on
of
the
awakening
claps.
is just past here. Ringing the second bell.
Man
it
is
opens
so
the gate to
locked in,
Sun's
he has
Fortress.
someone
Who
else
cares? We've already
telling
been
chat
there.
what the fuck is
It
going
also
on. Dude,
awakens
that's what I
Frank and
really
Fire and
like
Shrine.
about
We
these
aren't gonna actually
speedruns
talk
here
to
on
Frank,
this
we're just
like
going
World
to,
9 gaming
dive into
shit.
the hole
They
that
always
opens
have a
up the,
commentator to kind of just
Firelink's
explain
altar.
what's going on with all the
You
glitches
mentioned
and what
phases.
he's
The first
doing.
phase of the run, get the Lord Vessel. Second phase, ring these both bells. We've now completed both of those. The next phase is going to be an extended setup for a wrong warp, which begins by
Dude, honestly, one of the most wild speedruns I've ever watched was Fallout New Vegas speedrun. There is an insane glitch in that game where you shoot your revolver and a grenade launcher up in the air and you just fly like a jet around the whole map.
getting into the DLC. Okay, so that's our ultimate target here, is to get into the DLC. First, we have to go and place the Lord
There's my
Vessel. This is
homie.
going to be important for the Wrong Warp, but also placing the Lord Vessel removes this golden fog gate, which blocks access to the Duke's archives. On the way to Darkroot Garden, which is where we're going to be heading next, we're going to stop by Andre the Blacksmith.
Dude, just
well.
doing
Bangs
the
that hammer
menu,
very,
like
very
what he
loudly,
was
and we're
doing
gonna
right
buy two
there,
things.
is like a
First,
skill on
the
its
Crest
own.
of Artorias, which is a key item used to get closer to the Undead Basin. And second, the Weapon Smith Box, because we're going to be upgrading our Dragon's Tooth from its base state to +1. But Muffin, while we run through the garden, not a lot else going on. This would be great for, let's say, 2 more donations.
All right, sounds great. We have $100 from Ellie Rain that says, I've been watching GDQ since AGDQ 2013, and I look forward to all of your events. The Soulsborne games and Sekiro are some of my favorite games, so I had to donate to get in for that bonfire. Keep being awesome and good luck on the run, Regal.
Thank you.
We also have a $500 donation from Ryan232.
Nice.
And Ryan says, praise the sun, kill the cancer.
Thank you
Hi.
very much. In a moment, you're going to see a door with a giant glowing emblem on it. That's what we bought the Crest of Artorias for. When we
All right,
open
so
door,
the
we're
next
gonna
boss
put
he
out
has to
not
go
only
to
skip his animation,
for
but because
Lord
all those
Soul.
trees we ran past
Which one
are
is he
still,
heading to?
Very much
Yeah,
aggro. They're
Sith?
still on our tail. And as we
he
mentioned,
just gonna
before,
skip
exiting
through
and
the door?
reloading is extremely powerful for a lot of reasons in Dark Souls, including resetting enemy aggro. Also going to jump through an illusory roll, I should say, through an illusory wall, and rest at this bonfire. We're going to be teleporting back here as well. And, you know, getting more endurance.
crank
So
your
now we can
levels.
fast roll for pretty much the rest of the run, which is good.
The area we're heading to next is called the Undead Basin. It is going to eventually
Probably
be the
gonna do
entry point
Seath
to the
first?
DLC, although
Okay.
we have to complete a number of tasks.
Yeah, because Seath is one of the
along the way.
souls.
Difficult to talk about because
Is
we won't
Sith
get to see it
optional?
for just a moment. But the basin is in this.
No, you need
you know,
to
very
get
low
Sith for
area.
the
You have to
Abyss
run through
ring.
the woods for a while and then climb some ladders down. But climbing ladders is slow. So if you remember in Blighttown,
I would think
just
he's
a
going
few
to
minutes
Sith
ago, we did
first.
those plunging attacks to negate fall damage. You're actually going to see that again, but in a slightly different form. It's the same exact
Yeah,
trick,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, this is the more common way you'll see it. The ones in Blighttown look a little different, but it's still the same concept.
Also, there's a gigantic Hydra down there. We'll be paying him a visit. So here comes the.
I'm
plunging
wondering
attack.
if this
Check
is
this out.
just
Gonna
base
try to
game
plunge and glance off in a
or
particular
DLC
way,
as
use the
well.
rolling iframes to dodge the
Gonna
damage.
boot
Well
up
done.
some secure. I'll leave a
And
lurk,
right
man. Have a
onto
good
this
stream.
Hydra.
Absolutely, bro.
We have
I'll
to
I'll
kill
be
this Hydra to
checking
get
out
access to the
your
DLC
stream as
and a
well,
Dragon
man.
Scale. We're
I'll
gonna
give
deal
you a
damage
lurk.
in 2 different ways. The first being the 5 remaining black fire bombs, and second, 2-handed jumping attacks to take out entire heads at a time with the Dragon's Tooth. Important to note that the movement of these heads in terms of exactly where they plunge into the water it's actually consistent, but it's based on your position, such that like if you were a task and your position was identical every single time, it would be perfectly consistent. As a human, there tends to be some variability. Last firebomb and 1 more hit on the heads will take the thing out. There they come. Good night, Hydra.
Nice. Perfect.
Well
He
done. We
melted
killed the
that Hydra.
There's the Dragon Scale. We'll get it in just a second. We're going to use that Dragon Scale to upgrade the Dragon's Tooth. But in terms of accessing the DLC, there's a golden golem in the corner. You can't see him yet, but when we exit and reload the game, the golem will spawn. And as before, it's kind of, you'll see it a bunch of times. We always set up the move swap for these combat sections. This golden crystal golem is housing an NPC named Dusk, who has been, against her will,
All right.
plucked from the past.
So
You
he's
free
doing
her, and she
DLC as
talks
well.
to you and gives you this whole spiel about how she wants to pass on her knowledge.
We just killed
There's
her.
Dusk.
It saves 1 second to kill her.
Yeah, so with the Hydra taken out, with Dusk freed, we're going to go ahead and upgrade that Dragon's Tooth to +1, like we mentioned, and then teleport back to that Anor Londo bonfire in order to head towards the Duke's Archives. Now, the reason we have to go to the Duke's Archives, or I should say the very
Okay, he
beginning
is doing
part of the
Seath.
Archives, is that we have to get an item called the Broken Pendant from a very specific enemy. In classic
Oh, wait,
FromSoft
no,
style,
he's-
the way you
he's
access
starting the
is
DLC.
really convoluted. I don't know casually how anyone is meant to know to do this. But while we're on the way, Muffin, let's say we have time for 2 donations.
All right, sounds great. Well, starting off with $100 from StarRoots29 that says, always look forward to AGDQ. I love watching the games that gave me such grief getting totally destroyed. We also have $40 from Rocksteady that says, had to donate during my favorite game of all time. Here's to another great GDQ so far and to many more to come. Praise the sun.
Praise the sun.
Thank you. There are two of these boars. You can just dodge roll straight through, and there's going to be one more around the corner, and then we're going to take an elevator up. We're really not going to spend much time in the archives at all.
DS1 or ER
Yeah.
head? DS1.
The sound they make is just so imposing.
But
So I mentioned a moment ago that we upgraded the Dragon's Tooth to +1.
I want to make this very clear. Elden Ring is like 0.2% below DS1. They're like this. You know what I mean?
reason is that this golem up ahead will now die in one quick set of attacks.
What I will say that Elden Ring has over DS1 though is lore. The lore building in Elden Ring is like unmatched. But if we're talking a whole gaming experience, DS1 has it for me.
But in the unupgraded form, it would take 2, and you really don't want to spend any time amidst all these enemies, any more time than you have to.
I mean, it's nice that it does extra damage on the other bosses, but this is a pretty big part. You want to kill this guy in one attack?
Going to kill it and immediately dark sign out because we don't need the souls anymore. There's the broken pendant. The downside of accessing this DLC is that you do have to make a second run back to that same corner of the basin where we took out the crystal golem. So, Muffin, I'm going to toss it back to you again if we have some more donations.
Oh, yeah, we're getting tons of love for this run, man.
Yeah,
You're
it
doing
is
great,
down,
Regal. We have $100 from
Well,
Karamus
Amir,
that
what
says, Dark Souls and
do you like
cancer research,
DS1 over
two things that are
Elden
very
Ring, or are
important
you
to
the
me.
other way
As
around?
someone
Like,
who
what's your take?
has a close family member suffering from stage 4 cancer, AGDQ gives me so much hope. And I just had to donate during the Dark Souls run. Praise the sun.
Let's say one more quick one.
Okay, yeah, sure. We have $250 from Marna Sapper 212 that says, another GDQ, another donation
He
during
might
Dark
glitch
Souls.
into
Always look forward to these charity
Cocktail-
events.
what's that?
Thank you very much. You get to see this.
Oh, real quick. I do want to bring something up because we're going to be doing this next Friday. We found a dating show last night. I'm going to spark up a live stream Friday at some point, and we're going to be hopping in this dating show. On God. I'll talk about it more later, but we definitely have to do this. Yes. We're doing a dating show next Friday.
Attack again. By the way, what's happening here is that by plunging attacking in that way, the game effectively thinks that you've landed, and that restores your ability to roll in midair. That's the way that the trick works. That's the way it worked in Blighttown as well. It's just it's a little more obvious when you actually gain air.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to move swap here. I felt it right there, but we should be able to get it.
So before there was a golden crystal golem, now there's something else. You'll see it at the top of the screen. There's that dark portal. That is the entryway into the DLC. Although we'll skip the cutscene, the Hand of Manus comes and grabs you and snatches you into the past, which is where the DLC takes place. Similar to the Anor Londo interior bonfire, we're going to take this one for safety as well because this run back really sucks.
Yeah.
And the upcoming boss, the Sanctuary Guardian, is very random as well.
Yeah, this is probably my least favorite boss in the whole run. I don't like ONS that much either, but this guy is not great.
Ideally, the attack you want here is there's going to
I
be
one-shotted
kind
this
of
boss.
wing attack. The boss will kind of rear backwards and then hit the water with a wind attack.
I don't know
But
why
like
he
I
doesn't
said,
like it,
very
though.
random.
It's a
We'll
cool-looking
adapt
boss.
as we need to.
Oh, that's not what I'm doing.
Uh-oh.
Nice dodge. This guy will go down pretty fast, but
That's bad.
by the way, on these attacks in particular, that was 2-head attacks, means it's only going to be 2. If he does alternating swipes,
Oh my god.
Oh, no!
we weren't kidding when we said that this guy's risky. This
Well,
is exactly.
I messed up. If you're doing a running attack and you
Hey,
press
that's-
block, it cancels
we-
your running attack, and that kind of just
Yeah, he said he didn't
ruined the
like
whole beginning
OS
of the
either.
fight, but
Yeah,
okay.
that's pretty wild take,
We took the
actually.
bonfire. That's not a huge.
I'm
deal
wondering,
boss, and that's the first
I
step.
think he's just specifically
No, maybe this
speaking on
time,
the
it'll
speed
open
run.
with
Like,
that really
for the
beautiful
speed
air
run,
attack.
it's
Yeah, I
like
think
Or maybe it'll be
probably
terrible.
not good to deal
so. Yeah,
with.
that was all me.
The good news is that souls don't really matter in this run.
What are you doing?
That was odd.
Yeah. There we go.
That's the attack you want. Check out this damage. It is very high. You just have to wait for an opening to get that damage in.
That's not what I wanted him to do.
And he just flew way into the middle of the arena.
Yeah, I don't like this boss. It's okay. Come here, buddy.
There we go.
All right.
Fine.
Probably looking for specific attacks,
Yeah,
and it
the
gets
Guardian
annoying
was
in speed.
particularly
Yeah,
thorny
exactly.
today,
Like
but we're through it.
RNG is
This
such a
next
huge
bonfire
thing
here
when
in
it
the
comes to
Universal Sanctuary,
speedruns,
we are not
and I think that's
taking
why
for
he
safety.
said
We are
like
gonna have to teleport back to
Ornstein and
later.
Smo
This
is
is
like
also gonna be where
you're
the
kind of
Walmart
fighting
is
the
performed,
camera
although
and
we'll
like
touch
the
back on that a little bit
randomness
later.
that fight has to
Muffin, I
offer.
think I'll toss
And it
to
could
again
just
for,
fuck
let's
your
say,
run
one
up
quick
if you
donation
just
on the
like
way
slip
to the
up.
Royal Wood.
And this
Okay,
one
sounds
was
good.
like a
Well,
prime
we have
example of
$100
that.
from Team Teamwork that says, the Dark Souls games are my favorite of all time. Praise the sun, praise the runners, and the staff. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As we run across this bridge, although you can't really see it at the top of the screen, there are some enemies that are going to become aggressive towards the player, and they can cause you a lot of grief. So as we've seen a few times now, Rigo going to exit and reload the game in order to reset their aggro. The reason is that we're about to go and set up another variation of that plunging fall damage negation known as the Royal Wood Skip. There's going to be a house up ahead with a hole in it, and the fall to the floor is
Okay,
actually low
what
enough
I'd
that you
really
can
love
survive
to
it
see,
via
though,
fall damage alone,
is
except that there's artificially a
speedrun
control plane there placed by the developers
where
to,
you fight every
force you
single
to
boss.
at least attempt to force you to traverse the zone as usual.
Like, is that
like I
a
said,
thing?
We're going to use that same plunging fall damage.
Dark Souls
negation
1
we've seen,
speedrun,
several times now.
speedrun every boss.
And this trick, if you pull it off correctly, saves about 45 seconds. Gonna go ahead and set it up. Back step to hit the wall at the correct spot and slow down. There's the roll. Nicely done. And in very short order, this brings us, there's the same move swap, you've seen it a million times. This brings us to Artorias. Rather than commentating this, I think it's more enjoyable to just sort of enjoy the fight.
The man himself.
That's a good attack. You want him to buff. Almost.
Dude.
There we go. Nice fight.
Damn. You
Okay,
killed
now
him
bear
quick,
with me,
right?
this
How many
gets a
attempts?
little
Dude, I
technical.
one-shotted
The whole reason we've been
him,
going through the
like,
DLC is to set up a wrong warp.
it
This
was
wrong
a
warp
crazy
is the
fight,
product of
but
two
I did
different
one-shot him.
teleportation items interfering with one another. The first is the dark sign, which we
Like, he
already
was,
have.
like,
the second,
the
which
first
we're acquiring
boss
right
in
now,
the
is
game that I
purple
noticed
power
was like,
crystal,
oh, this
which warps
guy
you out of this
actually has
PvP
speed.
area called the Battle of Stoicism. This item is also normally only usable within the Battle of Stoicism, but it turns out that through a frame-perfect trick known as an item swap,
Manus,
we can force
9
the purple
attempts.
powers crystal to
Manus
activate
was
outside of
different.
its intended area. If you then interrupt
But
that
still, 9
teleportation
attempts for
animation
Manus
using
is
the
not
dark sign,
bad.
the game basically
I know
becomes in a
Manus was
conflicted
under
state
10
where it
attempts,
attempts to
but when
position
I
the
fought
player at the
Calumet,
coordinates
Calumet
of the
was
Battle
like
of Stoicism
maybe
gazebo
15 or
relative to the
16.
Firelink altar. And since those coordinates are invalid, you instead get placed at the origin point, which is past the door in the kiln. Everyone catch that? Remember that all of this rests on the frame-perfect trick. Regal's going to try to take a sip from the Estus flask on the frame that the character's feet hit the ground. If it works, you'll see a weird purple haze around the Estus. Didn't quite work. This drinking means it was about a frame late. Thankfully, it's very quick to set up.
It's okay. It might take a few tries. This trick's hard to do consistently.
There it is. Quickly activating
Wow.
the Dark Sign to interrupt the original warp. And if done
What the
correctly,
hell?
we are now in the kiln of the first flame.
Whoa, what?
Very powerful trick, allows you to avoid having to collect any of the Lord Souls. At this point, we're in a bit of a victory march all the way to
We
Gwyn,
didn't
so
even
Muffin,
get
let's
to
say we
fight
have
4
time for 3
kings.
quick donations on the way.
Fantastic. Well, we have a special $12 donation from Ashwin that says,
What,
"Big
so is
shout
he
out
just
to
gonna
Regal, who has
one-shot
spent
Gwyn,
so much
dude?"
time teaching people this game. If you
Yeah,
were
I'm
working or
kinda
doing a
upset
run,
too.
He was there. Speed Souls would not be the same without him. Thank you for being a good teacher and friend.
You taught me quite a bit too.
Thank you, Ash.
Happy birthday, Regal, from all the people watching you and cheering you on.
Yeah, or
Today's my
Nito.
birthday.
No Nito either. Alright, he's at a 34-minute run.
Thank you, Ashwood.
Let's say one more, Muffin.
All right, well, $30 from Mr. Giggles16 that says, beating the game faster than it took me to beat the first boss? Please take my money. Thanks for supporting an important cause.
Thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, happy birthday to you. I want to shout out again, Regal taught me most of what I know about Dark Souls, so a very, very good teacher in that regard. We're quickly approaching the fog gate, to the final boss, Gwyn. We're going to use a particular strategy to attempt to stun lock Gwyn pretty much to death. If things go badly right off the bat, we might have to quit out to reset, but
he can not cooperate sometimes. But
what we're going to try to do is get a single hit first, which it won't stagger, but then the...
Oh, that was
Yep.
my fault. This guy's real scary if you messed up, so we're gonna quit out.
Even speedrunners will be killed very quickly if you get hit.
You can salvage it if you're doing PB attempts, but it's not really worth it.
You just spawn in right behind a fog
So we're going to
gate,
try it
dude.
again, like I said, to get a single hit first, such that the next hit will now stagger. And now we can just continually circle straight, forcing him to turn, and we can do this almost until the boss is dead.
Yeah, if he jumps away, though, I'm going to quit out again. It's too scary.
One more set of these. Now on the final hit, we're going to do something different. Well, he's going to do a grab attack. That's low. We're going to attempt to parry. There's the parry, setting up the riposte in order to shorten Gwyn's death animation. Get ready on time. It's going to be right when we touch the middle bonfire. And time.
Wow, 36-22 chat.
We're going to see what the in-game time is. I'm thinking like a
very good run.
35, 34? 34-22, that's okay.
Well done.
Thank you to GDQ for letting me be here. Thanks, Gramilios.
My pleasure.
Shout out to Speed Souls. If anybody wants to learn how to run this game or any other Souls games, whether it's Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, or Bloodborne,
Man.
join the Discord. There's lots of knowledgeable and passionate runners there that can teach you how to run any of the games that you want.
That's wild, man. That's wild.